Good morning, children. Welcome to today's class. At this chapter, I already introduced in the previous classes. And half of the chapter I already explained. Let's go through a small revision. That in this chapter, I taught you about the forest-dwelling people, about nomadic tribes. I taught you about the villages and town dwellers and how the people of different class live in the villages, and how the head of the main peasant family used to collectively solve the problems of the villager, about the Panchakul, Matar, as well the Nadu, which type of restrictions on women was there during this time as well, and how they used to force to be sati, and the several sati altars also exist in the Mahamaya temple Ratanpur in Chhattisgarh. Today, child marriage sati system is considered as a crime, but earlier the child marriage as well the sati pratha, it was totally prevailed on our society. And during that time, merchant travel not just a different city in India but a different country for the trade and business. As a result, the local people come into contact with people of different cultures and religion, and they were influenced by them. Chinese, Christian, Jews settled on the Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and Arab traders settled in Gujarat and Kerala. Later, Bhakti movement had been taken place during this time only. The forest dweller worship different gods and goddesses according to their tradition. Even today, we find many Kanapsi and altars in the forest of the Chhattisgarh. About the Buddha Dev and Mata Dev, they were worshipped by the tribal people. As yesterday, I taught you that the local people, they used to compose devotional songs in Tamil, and which become very popular among the common people, and the Shiva devotees known as the Nainars and the Vishnu devotees were known as the Alvars. But many devotees were not happy with the way the kings were seeking the glorify the names. It means as the kings are constructing temples for the god and goddess, but they used to put their name along with the god and goddess. So they believe that love for the god should not manifest in any outward pomp, and so it means हमको दिखावा नहीं करना चाहिए. If we having trust, if we having belief, if we having love towards the god, we have to show that only. Why we should go through the pomp and show. The next Bhakti movement in the south was Basavana and Akkama Devi. They are the main inspiration of the South India. They are Basavana and Akkama Devi. Children, please do put underline over there. They shout to eradicate all the form of discrimination based on the caste and class. So the Basavana and the Akkama Devi, they want to eradicate all the form of the discrimination in the name of the caste and class. The Nathpanthis and Siddhas started a similar movement in the Bengal and Bihar. How the Basavana and Akkama Devi, they have started a movement in southern part of the country. Likewise, in Bengal also, that now Nathpanthis and Siddhas, they have started in Bengal and Bihar. The Bhakti saint wrote songs in the language spoken by the common people so that each and every person can read, can sing. This helped the development of the various local languages as well in literature. This helped the development of various local language and literature, as I told you right now only. So we may find many such composition from this era in the rudimentary forms of these languages. It means that language which is little bit interior, as well including Tamil, Telugu, Kannada in the south, and Gujarati and Hindi in the north. It means that for the southern side, we can find such type of the composition in the language Tamil, Telugu and Kannada, as well Gujarati and Hindi in the north. Next, temples and architecture. Many imposing temples are built during this era, and these temples consist of Garbhagriha, Sikhara, and several large and small mandapas. These all are, we are talking about the southern side of the India. Garbhagriha, where we used to put the idol जहाँ मूर्ति को रखा जाता है. Sikhara and the several large and small mandap. Mandap, everyone know that. On entering the temple, one first come across the main mandapa, after which are the Ardh Mandapas, Maha Mandapas. So, as we are going to enter inside the temple, first of all, we have to go through the Ardh Mandapa, main Mandapa, and after that we having Ardh Mandapas and the Maha Mandapas. Mandapas where they used to perform the puja and yagnas as well, havans. These mandapas are basically large hall where the devotees stand for the darshan of the god and goddess, and sometimes they used to perform yaks also there. The Garbhagriha is the center sign where the images of god and goddess are placed. Just I told you that Garbhagriha where we used to put the image of the god and goddess. The Sikhara, a tall spire-like structure is built atop the Garbhagriha and a visual for a far. The Sikhara, it used to be visible very far from that particular temple. It is the most attractive part of the temple and it is usually built in the two style. First one the southern style and the second is the northern style. Some striking examples of the temple architecture of the time include the Sun Temple of Konark in Odisha. I think you people have already familiar about the Konark Sun Temple. The Khajuraho Temple built by the Chandela king and the Raj Rajeshwar Temple built by the Raj Raja Chola. These three temples are the example of the magnificent architecture of our country. Other notable example include a Ratanpur temple in Chhattisgarh. Most probably everyone have already visited the Ratanpur temple over there. And then it is constructed by the Kalchuris. After that, the Gandhai Pandaria temple, the Sivri Narayan temple built in the Jajla Dev, and the Bhoramdev temple of the Kabir at Kavarda. So these three temples are the main temples of Chhattisgarh and they have been constructed during the Kalchuri period. And they contain massive images of the god and goddess carved in the stone. So children, this is all about the second chapter, changing pattern of life. Hope you understand this chapter, and if you're having any kind of the doubts, then soon after the reopening of the school, then only you have to ask. Either once again you go through the chapter and read well so that you will get the topic, and the notes of this chapter you will be getting in next class in the assignment section. And before winding up this chapter, I want to tell you something that it might be possible the ending of this month you will have your pre-midterm exam. So that prepare well, complete all your notes on time. Thank you.